Oil and gas prices fluctuated throughout the year. Crude oil ranged from $93.88 a barrel to a high of $108.37. And the average gallon of gas was $3.53, and today it's down to $3.45. A little better. We are a different world now than we were then, but our commitment to our students has not wavered. During the changes over the past decade, our lifers were guided by wonderful teachers, coaches, advisors, directors, and of course, caring parents who clearly value a Bullis education. Our lifers have changed quite a bit since they first walked through the doors of South Hall. I would now like to introduce each of them and welcome them to the stage. Griffin Hotch. Luke Lamata. Mason Metro. Clark Norman. Ella Rosoff. Emily Rubenstein. Luke Schumacher. Logan Sterin. Maeve Zimmer. Ronan Zwa. Our 10 lifers have spent 10 years together on the Bullis campus. They've moved from section to section here in Howard Auditorium, just as they moved from the top floor of South Hall to the lower floor of South Hall, and eventually North Hall and the Discovery Center. It is terrific to honor them here today. I would now like to introduce our head of lower school, Ms. Brandsetter, who's going to share a few words about how each of our lifers has changed since they joined our community in 3rd grade. Ms. Brandsetter.
Good morning, Bullis High School, as well as our lifer parents, as well as our kindergarten parents who've also attended today. Good morning and welcome to the lifer ceremony, a time when we recognize and celebrate this special group of 10 students who have attended Bullis since 3rd grade. This ceremony complements the Acorn ceremony that we had on September 27th, when our lifers welcomed our kindergarten bullpups with a tradition of giving them each an acorn. Today, we will present each lifer with an oak tree sapling grown from acorns. This gift continues the tradition of recognizing growth, longevity, strength, stability, endurance, justice, and honesty. We are confident that you will cherish them as you reflect on your memories here at Bullis. I will share with you some anecdotes from your time here at Bullis. These lifers entered the 3rd grade during the 2013-14 school year. As we reflect on the passage of time, an analogy for all of us to notice is, and I'm just showing the next screen here, is our very own Kaylin McCann. She was actually a senior buddy this year. Now she teaches PE in our lower school, as well as coaches various sports, including lacrosse. This passage of time happens all too fast, but sharing memories helps us take us back to this special time. Members of the lower school faculty have helped me find some fun anecdotes of some of your experiences during your time in the lower school. I've also reached out to some of you who've helped me with a story or two. Finally, I received some most likely details from a secret informant in the upper school. Lifers, as I read these stories to you, I hope they bring back joyful memories of your time in the lower school. When I call your name, I'd love for you to come up. I will also have 2 of our bulldog pups to come stand here, and they will be holding your acorn, your sapling for you. I would like to welcome first Griffin Hotch. He's reassuring them that it's okay. Motivated, determined, and enthusiastic. Griffin was a cheerful and talkative lower school student. With his peers and teachers, he was kind, thoughtful, and considerate. In 5th grade, Griffin was a problem solver. He was always fair and honest. He loved to chat with his friends and participate in every discussion. Griffin created Griff's Bakery for the Entrepreneur Fair. Do you remember that? In 5th grade, all students wrote a speech for their recognition day. In his speech, Griffin wrote, "The first day I started Bullis was in the middle of 3rd grade. I was so nervous, but I was really excited. When I came into the classroom, Miss Cohen made me feel very welcomed." Griffin shared that his fondest memories come from playing on the playground. He enjoyed playing in the Gaga pit, playing sports on the field, or tag on the playground. There were many hours he shared with his friends. With the same group, through the years, they have shared many experiences. Griffin said, "It has been fun watching everyone grow into the people who they are today." Rumor is Griffin is self-identified as most likely to win the most world championships in any sports. Griffin. Sorry about that. I love our kindergarten pups are enjoying the photos. Next is Luke Lamada. Curious, hardworking, and an early love for music. His teachers recall that he had an affinity for the band Queen and even performed a song in the lower school talent show. It must have been "Don't Stop Me Now," because clearly he hasn't stopped. Or "We Are the Champions." Luke loved to share his writing and used strong vocabulary and created vivid images for his mountain coaster mayhem story. Quotes, "Our cart ricocheted back and forth in order to avoid smashing, bashing, and crashing into the cart in front of us. My neck bumped into the side of the cart. My legs got shivery like a man in Antarctica. And my hands gripped and handled like it was a matter of life or death." Miss Jacoby knew that wasn't really a part of the ride, but she appreciated his hyperbole. Luke created homemade board games for his Quest of Warriors business at the Entrepreneur Fair. Along with Griffin, Luke played the lead role in the 5th grade play, Charlie Bucket, this noble hero who finally wins the golden ticket in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It was secretly shared that Luke is most likely to win a Grammy. Luke Lamada. Next, I'd like to welcome up Mason Metro. Compassionate, meticulous, and enthusiastic, Mason entered every room in the lower school with a big smile and ready to learn. Mason recalls being scared on her first day at Bullis. However, her dad reassured her that everything would be fine. He was also a Bullis graduate. She remembers her mom taking that classic photo in front of South Hall. She also remembers walking into the class thinking, "Wow, why is no one here yet?" She soon realized that her entire class only had 11 students. Mason had fond memories playing silent speedball with her classmates and remembered how competitive this game actually got. Mason was a writer for the lower school newspaper. Her article, "Winter is Great," she recommended snowball fights, sledding, and hot cocoa. During the 5th grade Entrepreneur Fair, Mason designed and created a cupcake bar. That sounds pretty delicious. For the 5th grade play, Mason played 2 roles. Do you remember? Oompa Loompa and a cook. My inside informant also shared with me that Mason is most likely to own 50 dogs. Let's hear from Mason Metro. Next, Clark Norman. Fierce, determined, funny, and an absolute ray of sunshine. In lower school, Clark was an avid swimmer and began her love of music and playing the cello. Clark was a prolific writer. She wrote nonstop with stamina and energy during journal writing time and amassed a huge amount of writing volume. She volunteered to share her writing pieces aloud and offered to help her fellow writers when they weren't sure about what to write or how to revise. Clark infused a lot of expression into all of her pieces, whether it was about a small moment or a personal essay. In 5th grade, Clark created Clark's Emoji World, selling cupcakes for the entrepreneur fair. Sounds like there was a bit of cupcakes happening that year. Clark played Violet Beauregard in the 5th grade play. We all remember this insanely competitive character who ignored Willy Wonka about chewing gum and subsequently turned into a blueberry. Similarly, my clandestine companion shared that Clark is most likely to have wet hair. I guess I'm thinking it might have a faint scent of chlorine in that too. Let's hear it for Clark. Next, I'd like to welcome Ella Raza. Caring, brave, and courageous. I know that part because I saw it for myself on Friday. In the lower school, Ella had a vivid imagination and loved to write. As a mathematician, she relied on her strong number sense to solve difficult problems. Her art teacher noted that her sketchbook was filled with detailed, playful ideas. Ella's Spanish pronunciation was very accurate, and she always enjoyed sing-along. Ella was also a writer for the lower school newspaper. She recommended traveling to Tanzania and staying at Crater Lodge because the huts reminded her of Smurfs. Ella created a business called Fudge-tastic. Do you remember that? For the entrepreneur fair. As an actress, Ella played Miss Tave in the 5th grade play. I'm wondering if this is where Ella's love for entertaining others began to blossom. It was shared in Ella's Most Likely that she's most likely to be in the entertainment industry. I can envision her behind the scenes running the show. Let's hear it for Ella. Next, I invite Emily Rubenstein. Kind-hearted, thoughtful, and a true empath with an effervescent presence. Emily was a student who demonstrated care and concern for her classmates at all times. She was always looking out for her peers and making sure everyone was okay. This included her twin siblings. Emily has shared that morning meeting was her favorite part of lower school. She remembers games like Sparkle, Ghost in the Graveyard, and everyone's favorite, Silent Speedball. Emily shared, "It was always so nice to start my day just being able to have fun with my friends. Morning meeting made me excited to come to school each day." Emily was a voracious reader. She created a unique and fun game for the entrepreneur fair called Emily's Laser Web. Emily wrote poetry pages and prose during her 5th grade year. Notably, she published a brilliant mystery called The Note on Her Own Time. Do you remember that story? My insider shared with me that Emily is most likely to order Chick-fil-A for her final senior lunch. Let's hear it for Emily. And I was told I need to say Lukey. So, this is Lukey Schumacher. Insightful, curious, energetic, and enthusiastic about absolutely everything. Lukey was always smiling, had a great sense of humor, and fun that always surrounded him. He was busy building his reading muscles in 3rd grade and enjoyed learning about ways humans can protect the environment. His music teacher shared that Luke is a fabulous singer and his enthusiasm is contagious. In his Recognition Day speech, Lukey wrote about kindness. My friends here at Bullis are kind. They always play with me. Kids at Bullis always let everyone play. They are also very helpful because if I don't get a math problem, they explain it to me. They are loving because they comfort me when I'm sad, and they help me when I'm hurt. My informant shared that Lukey is most likely to have the longest hair. Let's hear it for Lukey. Next, Logan Sterling. Thank you. Logan, responsible, energetic, and a leader among his peers. Logan tackled every assignment with unparalleled speed. Logan, on many occasions during math class with Mr. Gordon, would defend his answer by saying, because it's math. Logan shared that he remembers walking into school and thinking that all the seniors and the upper schoolers were so big. Boys and girls, do you feel that sometimes? Are these kids over here so big? Yes. He felt like a midget compared to everyone. He remembers fondly his 3rd grade teacher, Miss Cohen, greeting him warmly on the first day of school. He shared that I really enjoyed all the fun times we had in lower school. His records show that Logan rocked it in the Presidential Fitness Awards by testing a 95% in the flexed arm hang. He made a game called Logan's Soccer Shots for the Entrepreneur Fair and played multiple roles in the 5th grade play. In his Recognition Day speech, he wrote about being creative. Bullis is a place where I can be creative. For example, it was fun to work with my classmates and come up with an idea for Shark Tank. We invented a lock that opens with a fingerprint instead of a key. We do have those now. My informant also shared that Logan is most likely to talk. Beyond the gift of the gab, Logan is known for being one of the most welcoming students on this campus. Logan Sterling. I'd like to invite up Maeve Zimmer. Bold and caring, Maeve always sought to understand and appreciate the perspective of others. Maeve remembers having an amazing time in 3rd grade, aside from one small game. What was it, Maeve? Sporkle. Sporkle was the absolute bane of her existence. Sporkle was a spelling game in which players would go around in the circle and each say a letter, one at a time. While she loved the games and activities, spelling was not her thing then. Sometimes Maeve would just put a wrong letter just so she could ensure that she got out. Even to this day, she still cringes internally when this game comes up, while others loved it. Her 3rd grade teacher shared that Maeve loved book club and was passionate about reading. In a preview of her future field hockey career, in the book club, she talked about how she made different goals. Maeve scored a 95 percentile in the Presidential Fitness Test for flexibility. Go Maeve. In 5th grade, Maeve researched and designed a business called Unicorn Pop for the Entrepreneur Fair. She sold flavored popcorn, which was a huge hit. For Maeve, my informant told me that she describes herself as kind, quiet, and caring. Let's hear it for Maeve. Last but not least, Ronan Zwa. Determined, confident, and witty, Ronan had an early love and innate talent for music. Ronan was also a natural class leader. His music teacher shared that he played the recorder with a beautiful tone. To our faculty, it was evident that his love of music was well in place in the lower school. However, he was not always the musician that he is now. He remembers the very first day in the lower school band, he was the only person that didn't know how to assemble the clarinet. Thankfully, he now plays the saxophone, which is much easier to assemble. In lower school, Ronan composed and performed a jazz piece that he shared with his 4th grade classmates. For the Entrepreneur Fair, Ronan created customizable paper airplanes for his light flight business. He shared the role of Willy Wonka in the play with Luke. Rumor is that Ronan took Accelerated Reader to the next level. Do you remember this? Yes. Ronan read millions and millions of words in the lower school. In fact, he's still a legend in the lower school at this school. Kids come up to me and say, oh, but there's this guy named Ronan who read 8 million words. So, yes, we know about it. 11 million, sorry. We gotta make sure, we gotta put that on a record somewhere. Ronan is most likely to answer the study hall question of the day. He's laughing already. IDK. I guess that clearly gave my informant's identity away. Let's hear it for Ronan.